Kala, Yahweh, Basham Yahushua, Basham Kakadash, double honors to the apostles at Great Millstone, to you brothers teaching the word in sincerity and in truth. And what I'm going to do in this talk about this major prophecy that we're dealing with here, and that's how they're going to change your cash, that you got in your pocket, and they're going to start chipping people soon. Now this is a conference by the European Central Bank, Euro, and as you can see, it's the digital euro, meaning, the way the money system works is going to be changing. So they ain't gonna it's just straight out changing pretty much. So they ain't gonna be like cash, notes, bills, It's gonna be digital. So let's go to the start of this actually. So this is November 27th. So they just did a live stream. This ain't stopping. This ain't stopping, man. This ain't stopping here. Right, so they just did a live stream, and this is live stream. So let's play some of it, and this is all about changing your money from notes, bills, cash to digital. So let's play. I'm gonna do skipping in this because it's, let's see what we can do.
Welcome, and thank you for your interest to participate in today's civil society.
Okay, so by the way, those individuals, the names are in the thing. So it's like directors and heads of the European Central Bank. So this is who are going to be speaking in this video here. So you can see them, right?
Good morning. Welcome, and thank you for your interest to participate in today's civil society seminar. This is our 8th seminar on the digital euro, and we are happy to see such continuous interest in our work. And we are very pleased to welcome a guest today, Mireia Jambrick from the European consumer organization BEUC, today here online. And I'm also joined in the room by Evelyn Whitlocks, our project director, and Nico Schmidt, user research and experimentation lead. My name is Fabian Geuter, and I work here together with Evelyn and Nico in the Digital Euro project. We have moved to a new phase at the beginning of this month, and we found that's a good opportunity to reconnect with you where the Digital Euro project currently stands and with new insights to share. Today's seminar will focus on how the digital euro will adapt our currency to the digital age and meet everyday needs.
They keep talking that digital age talking. That's the new term, innit? That is the new term, digital age, yeah? That's the term, man. That's the term right there, digital age. Yeah, let's play.
Our seminar consists of 2 parts. Firstly, Mireia, Nico, and Evelyn will present, and afterwards we will give you the opportunity to ask questions. Just briefly on housekeeping, we would really appreciate if you turn your camera on so that we can see whom we are talking to. And we would kindly like to ask you to keep your microphones off until we move to the Q&A. The event is being recorded and live streamed. So for those that follow our discussion live that are not inside the seminar, you can also submit questions to our speakers with the QR code shown on the screen. We will publish the recordings and the slides after the event on our website. And with that...
Oh, by the way, for y'all that think that this ain't happening, this is clearly happening. So they did a live stream. And all for this digital euro.
Over.
And that we summarized into a report that we published on September. So next slide, please. I'll start with a bit of context. So the survey was conducted in 10 euro area countries, the ones that you can see on the slide. And as part of a call from tender from the European Central Bank to conduct independent user research to inform the design of...
All right, so they say, what is it? So consumer expectations for digital euro. Key characteristics of a new payment method. So they're saying it's secure and reliable, 55%. Easy to use, 53%. No low fees. Offers fraud refunds. Widely accepted. Survey conducted in 10 area countries, euro countries. I don't even know what them. Some of them, I know the brothers. Okay, let me see. I'd just be making it up at this point. Anything that I know, like Belarus, it's Spain, but I don't think you got Estonia, you got France. I don't know which countries they've done it in. Let's play.
The digital euro. We collected 1,000 responses more or less per country, so we gathered 10,000 responses. And instead of asking about the digital euro directly, we were asking about digital payments. And from there, we took the responses to inform the design of the digital euro.
That's what they do. They do case studies so they know, okay, look, how many people are using digital payments? Because these sort of studies, yeah. And then when after the lockdowns, it was saying, oh, well, look, shops were going, we ain't even taking cash.
Maybe as a news in this research, we developed a separate questionnaire for teens, so people aged 14 to 17 years old, as they weren't included in previous research. So throughout the whole report, you can see also the data for different ages, including teens. So now starting with the content, one of the questions we asked was that if... Okay, sorry. I thought that they couldn't hear me or something. All good. That if a new digital payment method was introduced, which are the most important features that it should have? And in order of importance, the answers are the ones that we can see on the screen. So in the first place, that it's secure and reliable, followed by that it's easy to use, that has no or lower fees, that offers refunds in case of fraud, ensures privacy, and that it's widely accepted. Here, 36% that I see that's missing. So now I'm going to present you some findings on these characteristics in the next slide, starting with security and fraud concerns. So we saw from the data that the concerns about security are high across all age groups. For instance, 82% of adults and 77% of teens said that they are concerned about becoming victims of online fraud, scams, or cyber attacks. And in fact, 22% of adults and 18% of teens said that they had been a victim of a fraud or security breach related to a digital payment that they made in the past 5 years. So from our perspective, these are very high numbers, and especially for teens, to our surprise. And also when we asked which type of fraud they were victim to, they said, most of the answers said that it was phishing. Then when we asked about the possibility to be refunded in case of fraud or scams, 85% of both adults and teens said that they believe that they should...
So if they're going to say, well, they're going to have to come with a solution to this. Because that's how the term called problem, reaction, solution. Like the benefits that they've been pushing for cashless. We've done videos, reports. on the topic and stuff like that. And they always talk about, oh, it's convenient, you might lose the cash. But then you got the online security concerns and that. So they're gonna have to push problem reaction solution. Okay, that's why when they will control both sides of an argument. Hegelian dialectics and that sort of stuff. These are all like their tools that they use to get in what they want in it.
Be refunded in case they are victims. So in light of this, BEUC's recommendations for the Digital Euro project is that it offers strong fraud prevention before the fraud happens and protection. So a strong protection, for example, easy refund procedures and having dispute resolution systems, so similar to the ones that we have now for international card schemes, so covering a wide range of disputes, commercial disputes. Then I'll move to the second topic, which are the results related to ease of use and inclusion. So here we saw that cards.
So what I'm gonna do? Okay, so let's
are the preferred payment method for adults, both online and physical shops, and for teens online. So then we also, from the data, we saw that 88% of both adults and teens believe that every bank account should have.
So they mentioned about online fraud and the preventions. Now they're talking about cards are adults' preferred payment method. Now it's convenient. People are rolling around with their cards. They got card machines. Tap the card. Everyone's gotten used to that. So now that's not really a problem. Because people have been, people use cards. That's just how people are getting down. So when you're not handling the so-called the money and shit, then you're already getting groomed for that system. Let me get this scripture out. Forget this. Proverbs 11:1. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just way is his delight. Now the money system is supposed to be weights and things like that. Let's get Genesis 13. Let me use it back with the blue. Let me. Genesis 13. And Abram went up out of Egypt, he and his wife, and all that he had, and Lot with him, into the south. Because pretty much it's going to tell you that you what real money and wealth is. Not numbers on the numbers on the fucking computer, man. You people have lost the plot. You really believe? Oh yeah, look what I got. I know that dollar bills talk. That ain't even real. That ain't even real valuables. It's the print that is paper. It's literally paper. You believe in paper. You're holding up paper and holding up the paper and being like, oh, that's I'm worth that. It's fucking paper. It's paper, man. It says, And Abraham was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold. So it's telling you right there what he was rich in. All right, cattle and in silver and in gold. So them pushing this digital system is against the scriptures. But when they're talking about convenience, well, they don't want you to have any wealth though. I'm gonna tell you, you know what I'm saying? They're not pushing that, because you know what I'm saying. So all these systems are gonna lead to more systems of you being controlled and not having nothing. All right, so let's do this. Let's go back.
We saw that 88% of both adults and teens believe that every bank account should offer a free payment card, so cards are very valued. And 85% of both adults and teens believe that everyone should have access to a basic bank account free of charge. Then from the answers, we also saw that existing payment methods are not accessible enough, as more than half of the respondents, 35% adults, 51% of teens, said that they had faced at least one difficulty when making digital payments. These range from website crashes, declined payments, lack of skills, forgotten passwords, or even having concerns about security. And then also 39% of adults and 46% of teens said that they had helped a friend or family make a digital payment. And when we asked about the reasons, it was mainly because the person who needed to make the payment didn't know how to do it. So lack of skills and not knowing how to make the payment. So from these findings, what BEUC recommends for the digital euro is, in the first place, that a payment card is included as a basic service, as we see that it's the preferred payment method, that the European Accessibility Act standards are fully implemented and exceeded in the digital euro as a public solution that fills this accessibility gap.
Because it's on there. Because what I'm doing, I'm analysing this this digital euro. We call this a conference. European Accessibility Act, the foundation for digital euro inclusivity measures, personal support for all customers without entry. Let's skip on. Now, let me. Digital. I'm in the green. The box. Digital euro should offer enhanced privacy online and offline. Data security. A key concern including cybersecurity and data storage.
So potentially for proximity payments and lower amounts can be enhanced with lower onboarding requirements and having steps to.
Some of these individuals, they're just robots, aren't they? So it's like if you just sign up to a course and they tell you unis and they just tell you something that you just, if you gotta do the coursework, you gotta just repeat it in your own words, but just how many times can everybody do that? You're just repeating the same for info. She's just reading the info, just reading. Now I hadn't watched that part. I skipped up to a part where they were talking about, you know what, let me see if I can find
underage citizens, because it's part of our strategy to not only focus on the general population and as such and focus on the average voices, but to make sure we're not leaving anyone behind. So that's why we here in the research that I'm presenting now, we're focusing on two specific, distinct, special target groups, how we call it. That's first vulnerable consumers. So from the citizens' perspective, but then also from the merchant perspective, we thought that it's relevant that we don't only talk to the big merchants, to the large ones out there that maybe have a lot of capacity to make their voice heard, but to also focus specifically on small merchants. So what were our objectives with those?
So they got to target everybody, pretty much. I'm not gonna be doing analyzing all that right now.
Solution one. And then just as a side remark on the reach, so for the vulnerable consumers, we did those interviews in every Euro area country. The same is true for the small merchants. So also here we conducted the interviews in every Euro area country. They do specifically face difficulties in budget tracking, specifically again also for online purchases. And maybe I can point out here one thing that links to what Mireia said as well, because one thing that was a little bit curious to us is find out that the accessibility and also hacking and fraud issues are not something that we can expect to fade out, right? So we don't see differences in the age here. Really, that means all age groups are facing those problems. We cannot just basically wait until those problems disappear. They will persist. They also persist in younger groups, and it's something that we have to address. If we look at the value drivers for vulnerable consumers, here again, we see some things that have been mentioned already. So it's security, reliability that score very highly. It's ease of use and simplicity, also Euro area-wide accept.
Let me just skip it. Okay, the digital euro, the next step in the advancement of our currency. I think I was around here. A future-proof currency. The digital euro would bring valid features of euro cash, like pan-European reach and inclusion to the digital world. And what they were trying to say was, which I've done a couple of videos on this now, is that you still have the option of using cash if you want any. But we all know how they get down and what the whole point of all this is. They're gonna phase out that cash. If cash is phasing out anyway. So why would they act like it's not? Or like that ain't the case? Because that, come on, man. If we're gonna go into the digital age, why are we still gonna act like? See, that's what he gets down like that. Always a reliable option. The digital euro would provide something unprecedented. A single European digital means of payment accepted throughout the euro area. And that would be Ireland as well, because Ireland, Southern Ireland is split. Ireland is split, and you got Southern Ireland. They use euros. The digital euro would strengthen Europe's resilience and reduce our dependency on private non-European providers. Now you got people already talking about, people talking about, what about my fraud? What about this? What they've got to talk about this, because people are gonna have questions. And then you got people that, well, I want cash. But they've got people, gradualism, they've got people tapping anyway, so this ain't gonna be nothing. It's convenient, you go into the shop, you pull out the card, you pull out the phone, scan, you're in and you're out. Or the other method is you gotta go to the bank, pull out the cash, have notes in your pocket. But that's how things are right now.
Of payments, but also digital cash. So for us, the digital euro is just a natural next step in the advancements of our currency. I keep repeating, the digital euro is an addition to cash and will not replace cash. But
that's BS. I don't know if she's been told to say that. It's basically it's on the script. But anybody, these high religions, say, come on, man. And this is what, let me get more into you, rich man, because you got Goyams and then you got people on the top. How the hell is it not going to replace? See, I said that in one breath they're saying, oh, well, it's the new currency, the digital age. And the next breath, well, it's not going to replace it. We're just going to use or both. It doesn't make sense, man. It does not make sense. And then depending on where you go and what podcast or what kind of news report, they'll say it different. So that's why it says never trust thine enemy. James 5:1. Go to now, you rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. And your riches are corrupted, and your garments moth-eaten. And it's a Tap Elite's international bank is pushing all this. And they actually have real wealth, gold and silver. So they give you illusion of wealth. Oh, you know, you got FRNs and shit like that. But they've got the real wealth, gold and silver and stuff like that. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you. And it's like, it's almost as well, the thief, he is the one with all the gold and silver. So they got a saying, caught red-handed. But all that, his gold and silver in this time of the wicked and corruption, that's all going to go against him. Because they've done nothing but rape, rob, and murder to get that. Okay. Let's play on and I'll go back to that.
I will not replace cash, but it will be allowing to bring some of the benefits of cash also to the digital age, next to preserving cash. So it's a future-proof currency, as I have just explained, and we focus very much on making sure that it focuses on inclusion and it's a reliable option, meaning that you can trust that you can pay everywhere in the euro area. So we have that with cash. If you get a banknote in Germany and you travel to Portugal, you can pay. But if you look to digital means of payments, we don't have these kind of solutions, and the ones that we have and that come close.
One world payment system, one world order. You go anywhere and you just tap the same system. You just tap the phone, but it's going to be the chip. And then you'll have, like, if you're in a 15-minute city or something, you won't be able to leave that. You try and leave, you ain't going to have access. Because that chip is you're going to be scanning yourself. And you can have blocked access, social credit score, blocked access where you can't leave that town because you haven't got access. This is the level of control that we're talking about here.
To this kind of coverage are non-European providers, which is actually then the third leg of the digital euro, that it really will improve our independence and our resilience, and making sure that we keep payments European and in our own hands. If we look, we have done more research, not only the Eurosystem, but also not only the ECB, but within the Eurosystem, more central banks. And we see that a majority of Europeans, when being explained what the digital euro would be, are interested of trying it. So I think for a product that has not been launched, I think this is very encouraging and showing that it's something that if done well, could be appreciated by Europeans. So we go to the next slide. Here we focus a bit on the needs, both from consumers and merchants, and you see overlap with the findings of our.
So I'm not going to go into all this. Let's see what else to bring out. Let's check this. I was just on the page saying what phase it was on. So in investigation phase, so from October 2021 to October 2023, there were investigation phase, concept definition, technical exploration and design proposal. Then the prep phase, preparation through testing and experimentation, was from November 2023 to October 2025. I didn't even know that. So as of November now, they're in a different phase. And it's just still in the preparation phase, yeah. Preparations will continue following a flexible and modular approach focused on advancing technical readiness, deepening market engagement, supporting the legislative process, meaning to get it in. A pilot exercise, initial transactions would start mid-2027, but everything's going to speed up. Because in the scripture, the Lord said he'd make a speedy. Things are going to speed up here. Let's get this. Because they've got Zephaniah 1:18. Neither their silver nor gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of them that dwell in the land. And now America is Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed. You know, the left-hand side, the philosophical cesspool of a place. Where's I at now? Oh yeah, so the Lord's going to speed stuff up here. Let's see what it says here. The ECB aims to be ready for a potential first issuance of the digital euro during 2029. And we're in them end times, so things have changed, things are speeding up. So you got to keep your eyes open, you know. This ain't gonna, this is gonna happen fast. This is based on a working assumption that the European co-legislators will adopt the regulations of the establishment of the digital euro.
Yeah, I'm here. So, and then in the investigation phase, those 2 years, we did mainly the design of the digital euro. So how would it look like, going all kind of details on, would it be online, would it be offline, but also how would disputes work, all the things that we have just discussed. Then from there, we moved into the preparation phase that lasted also 2 years. And there we went one step further to really prepare through.
You reckon you ain't gonna be in some NWO style system or Orwellian, and they've had this is what they're doing in the background, in their in their government. They got the got things in trial, they're passing things. This is just there going on in the back, or people are doing what they're doing, not having a clue. Excuse me, not having a clue that them FRNs and that them built them pound coins and the notes you got, they're not gonna mean nothing. All right.
Testing and experimentation. And actually this phase we have just closed at the end of 2025, as Fabian said at the beginning, and we went back to the governing council who approved to move to the current phase. What we will do in this phase is actually to further prepare advancing technical readiness, deepening our market engagement, and support the legislative process. I'll come back to the legislative process. And with that, we foresee that we can do a pilot exercise in the middle of 2027. I would say actually second half of 2027.
All right, you know what? Let me skip this.
Support of the legislative.
Just reading
our support of the.
So I don't. All right. So they're saying this current phase. Legislative process support, continuing provide technical input to the EU co-legislators and assist in the legislative process, all the different legislations in that around this. That's how they do it, to push past things through legislation. We'll just do this.
Of the current financial system. You know, like, I think most people are paid into a bank currently, and most people have a debit card and maybe a credit card. Okay, and notwithstanding the cyber, you know, that you've outlined very well there, the cyber threats to people these days and the worry that people have, apart from that, where's the incentive for the ordinary European citizen to adopt a digital euro?
Thank you for the question. It's a very good question, and I think there are two layers to answer the question. So the first one is more a policy objective or a scenario planning objective, as you see it. As you described, if we now want to do...
This is one of them, you know, these type of put you to sleep type videos, but that's where you, sometimes, but it's when you watch videos like that where you get information.
Digital payments, you need to have your deposits at a bank or payment service providers, and then they give you means to pay. So it's them to decide how you pay, under which conditions you pay. You need also to give them your deposits, which is a great. I mean, we have seen all kind of evolutions there, but it's quite a lot dependency and I don't know, I would say power we give to the private industry to provide us with something that's so essential for payments. So up till now, you always had the choice. So either you pay with cash or you pay with digital means of payment, and that was fine when we did most of our payments in a physical environment, and we could live with, but we could really have a choice. But if we are more in a digital environment, we actually don't have a choice. We need to pay digitally. So
that's what they were saying on the Bank of England site, that things have changed. Everything's changing digitally, so we have to change to keep up with it. As if they're not the ones that set this all up. Like, this is crazy, man. This is mad, bro. And this is what they do. And this is what you talk about. We got. Come on, man. Y'all are the ones setting this all up. And this just shows you. This video is like this to show you that that's what it's all about. About him pushing his enterprise. That's what they're undoing this. This is what they're all about. You got people that are sitting there just thinking about how they're going to get everybody chipped. Okay, this video is probably a bit of a slower Job 5 and 11, to set up on high those that be low, that those which mourn may be exalted to safety. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. And they're planning an enterprise. The Lord's going to disappoint them. They got all these dates. This is what they're on. They got these dates. They got these agendas. They got these times. They got all of that. You know, this is what they're going for. They got these agendas, these dates, times, deadlines, all of that. This is what we're dealing with here. It's not about if, it's about when. And when is not anytime soon. You can see the itching for it. That's why why do you think we read Revelations 12 and 12? Because they're itching for it. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna close it out there. Might come and do a part 2 to this. We'll see. That Shalom.